Yeah, and this is all in the introduction of glaze, and there's a glaze on the top here that's been poured loosely onto the piece, because the piece has got asymmetry in it already. You want the glaze to complement that. A little lower down is a surface treatment that you call flashing slips. So it's got a slip that actually varies and changes with the fire. And some spots are left with bare clay. And the textures created in the clay before you apply all these different surface treatments. So that's the inside story of this piece. The throwing of it was done, and the looseness of the throwing was left into the piece and introduced, altering parts of the throwing into the piece. It's got bulges, and I've introduced my hand inside the piece to change the form before it was put into the bisque kiln, and so that piece speaks to that transformation. It's a little journey around mountainous and different sceneries that you can find in nature. To maybe a prairie scene. We see I see prairie in here, and I've introduced textures, prairie textures into it. In that I used an old post that was found in the prairie, half decaying, and then I used the texture on that post to create the texture in this piece. The ridge gives it that sort of, flowing or sort of a valley look that we find in the prairies. And if I introduce the bottom part, then we really get into the fall prairie colors and the different plants that produce their orange colors. I'm very happy with the underside of this particular piece because it speaks to that looseness of nature and how nature treats you every fall to these wonderful patinas of colors. This is one of my wood-fired pieces, and the thing about wood-fired is that you let the ash do its own work. And so we were noticing, I actually apply extra ash, besides the fire that produces ash. And the ash starts melting at a certain temperature and running down. And then somebody was telling me, he says, look, you have trees naturally growing. Another tree, and a tree, and a grouping of trees. 5 trees here have grown out of the fire. And so some of these,
trying to be constituted. So.
Right. And so that's part of the allure of this wood firing is whatever you get. Sometimes it's amazing. It reflects nature. And so I've got new appreciation for this piece, and I didn't see that when I took it out.
Well, I was noticing on the picture.
Yeah, it looks like the ashes. It actually looks like birch trees.
It looks like
a birch.
All right. Well, that's birch ash that I add to the edge. So that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And so this piece is going to be acquired by one of my favorite friends and people that are going to put it in their home.
Most likely
To find a home. So you have to let the piece find its own home.
No, Claude, those trees are just so real. It's unbelievable, you know.
Yeah, oh.
So real, those trees, you know.
Amazing.
And they seem to be rooted in the ground there for some reason, you know. They look like so real.
Oh, you have a little moss at the base.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Very, very, you know, and that's part of the allure of wood fire is you should take that piece home and it should grow on you. You should see more and the depth that you've created in the piece. It reveals itself slowly.
And it's no different than a painting, isn't it? You buy a painting, or the first time you see a painting, and then it grows on you, and you start, seeing things which you've never seen before, really, you know. So the same kind, yes.
And this is a forest, and these are the distant trees, and this is the trees in the foreground.
Absolutely powerful.
Amazing. Walking trees. Jungle.
Yes. No, really.
There's a little guy, 2 legs and a snout there.
Indeed. They look like real animals there. Yes.
There's a human being walking towards
Indeed.
this little monkey-looking.
You think he's got a gun in his hand or something like that?
No, he's coming quite peacefully, I think, towards the creature here.
Yes.
Who's saying,
No, actually, that's so real. So real.
let's be friends. Let's be one with nature.
Is that a funny-looking horse? Somebody sitting on the horse, or what?
Which one is that? This side or that
This
side?
one, this one here.
Yeah.
You know, I think, man, that's
Yeah. If we look long enough, we'll find in this patinas all kinds of interesting events.
And Claude, isn't it very similar to paintings? You know, you start looking and discovering things which you've never imagined.
It should speak to you as
Indeed, they speak.
and northern lights.
3 lucky winners
In the patina of the glaze.
Our first winner is D. Brewster from Regina. D, if you're still here, return to the raffle display area. You'll be seeing your prizes donated by Sean.
The union sort of subconscious comes out into the piece.
20. The next winner is Ray Lynch from Moose Jaw. Thanks for coming out.
There's a
Ray.
walking baboon.
Donated by A to Z Illusions.
Hey, that does look like a baboon. It does.
Delwood Creek in booth
It does look
42.
like a baboon, all right.
And our third winner is Joan
Yes.
Klimzak.
He's got a little
Picking up prizes
big
donated
tail
by
there.
Jessica.
Up.
That's right.
But really, it's
Coffee
beautiful.
in booth 71. Again,
But
those 3
really,
winners are D.
the interpretation, isn't it? Something
Ray Lynch,
of the art, you know?
But the more I look at this one here, the more I realize that it looks like a bowing human. He's got
Indeed.
his
Indeed.
hand on the ground,
Yes.
picking,
Yes.
the
Yes, rice, maybe. Yeah. Planting rice.
planting rice.
It's so real.
And
indeed.
his helper here coming.
And
to help
that's
him.
a helper right there. Doing something. Yes. No, I think that creates quite a story.
And this looks like the back of a woman that has a very
Yes.
bushy hair.
Yes, Afro
Curly
hairstyle.
Afro hairstyle. You got it. Yeah.
Absolutely, no question.
As the more we look at this piece, the more we realize what it can speak to you, what it can tell you.
It really does. And when you tilt the piece, it gives a very beautiful, somewhere there, gives a very nice picture on the in this camera. You know, something
There you go.
becomes alive.
These little protrusions here. There's a little tiny human being with 2 legs there.
Yes, indeed.
So
Incredible.
you could spend
Incredible.
time
Yes.
looking at these and